Greetings everyone, it's Denise again with Denise's Dancing Paintbrush, and today I've got a collage of a story I was working on for my alphabet book. This is B for The Boy of the Red Twilight. It's a story that has to do with the people of northern Canada, kind of Eskimo Native American. And I sped this up quite a bit so you could see how I'm adding the little torn pieces to the furry muff part around his jacket. This is back before I created my little camera arm for my tripod that would stick out over the top of my work, and so I just angled my camera on my tripod and my hand is in the way much more than I would like it to be. Now here I am working on his dog. Speaking of dogs, now that's enough. Gypso, thank you very much. I appreciate that you're warning me people are here, but it's going to be okay. So she kind of gets all upset when there's people outside. So you can see I'm cutting the pieces around his lashes and putting them on one at a time. This is a lot of, well, it's more than piecemeal, it's more like inch meal. I'm working little bit by little bit, tearing little pieces of paper as I go. Gives me a rough edge, and I want lots of different colors. Don't want everything to be black and brown on the dog, so I'm adding blues and oranges and light tan and gray and an assortment of others. It makes it interesting, but it all blends together almost surreal, almost like a pointillism. I love how that works, how the eye blends it together when you're all done. Now you can see how I should have closed my blinds, because pretty soon there's going to be sunlight shining in on my picture as I'm working. It takes hours and hours, well, more than that, days, that I work on a piece. Especially since I'm using these little tweezers and my hand gets very tired. I've got the carpal tunnel problems. And I have to take a break more often than I would like to. I'd like to keep working, but my hand refuses to work. And here the sun is going to start inching its way across my picture, until finally I'm going to have to get up and close the blinds. I'm tearing pieces now and making little piles. And building up the hair from where it starts there on the right side. There, I went and closed the blinds. Now I'm back at work. I thought it would look almost like magic by speeding it up, putting the pieces on one at a time, but instead it looks like my hand is in the camera path more often than the paper is. So I was disappointed with this, but I still wanted to finish filming it and showing it. You see, the blue spot I put in the dog's eye, I think, is way too big, and I will later go back and make it much smaller, cut it down, and make it kind of a blue and white speck in his eye. And then I'm going to have to switch angles to work on the back side of the dog. On the other side of the paper, behind my boy. So here he is. I'm working off the edge of the paper. That's the back side of the dog. Little by little. Inch by inch. You can see I started with a pencil drawing, and I'm just gluing paper with rubber cement, torn and cut pieces of pages from magazines, pages from old calendars, and even some catalogs. I have a few Avon catalogs in here. Whatever it takes to find just the right color. I especially like the National Geographics because their colors are rich and vibrant. Their paper is nice and thick. Some magazines just don't work very well because the paper is so thin and cheap. You put glue on it and it's basically transparent. You can see right through it. So it makes for a terrible collage. Anyway, I'm finally getting to the downside of the back of the dog here, and I did the face and the hand later off camera, but I'm going to show the finished product in just a second here. This is one of his gloves, which of course has lots of little hairy, furry parts on it. And here's the finished product, which I cut out of the white paper, and then I put it against a background that will be in the book, just a gradient, because the story's about the boy of the Red Twilight. I hope you liked seeing some of this collage work. Thanks for watching.